So at one point, everybody was mad at Joe Budden that he didn't speak on the Diddy Cassie situation and go in like everybody was expecting him to. But now, since Diddy has stepped down as one of the co-founders of Revolt, Joe Budden got some words for him. Let's hear what he had to say.
Puff stepped down, right?
He did.
Yes. He did. That happened while we were recording.
Stepped down from Revolt. Unsurprising.
Yeah.
Not surprising.
Part of course. This move was as expected. And he need to go sit down. He need to go sit down. Like, it's time.
Go chill up.
It's time. Like, you've done a lot.
And you're rich.
This
you
is
go
what
chill
happens
out
when you stay at the party too long.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you stay at the party too long.
Good point.
Like, people kept questioning my role in some of them parties and the Puff. See, the Puff throw a hell of a party, right? But the truth of the matter is, when he get into that other bag, that's not my bag, right? So when it's a whole bunch of young girls around, that ain't the party for me. When it's a whole bunch of other going on, that's just not the party. Sometimes it's just time. Sometimes it's time. The young people is good to have them around so you can soak up game and learn from. But then outside of that, no, the young girls, the young crowds, no. And this is to hip hop. No. Don't wear out your welcome. Age and go sit the down somewhere. Be your age. And Puff be the front man for his companies, which means that
self-promotion.
He is the marketing tool. It ain't like Leo, right? Leo go do his movies, make his residuals, and hit the cut for the next 10 years. You might not see him. If you know him, and that's it. Puff is in. You can't. You can't. It's too long. Too long. Maybe this goes differently if he sits down sooner. Maybe that pow goes differently.
I agree.
And that was the favor. That was the favor. Sit down at the favor. Because it could have been worse.
Yeah, could have been.
It could have been worse.
Yep.
Thoughts and prayers for anybody out there who needs something.
So Joe made some key statements when he talked about Puff still trying to be young, running with the younger crowd, right? Let me say this. I don't think the worry was, here come the old man trying to hang with the youngers again. I think the worry that people have developed watching Puff, some of the stuff that's come out, is that the younger people should be worried going to these parties, not knowing what is to be going on there. Because the younger people may be kind of wet behind the ears. They don't know when that other bag come out, as Joe say. But it's another key element to this that people are not really paying attention to or really acknowledging. Joe says when he starts to see that other bag come out, the younger crowd and the younger, this, that, and the other, he like, oh, that ain't for me. When he starts to, and I'm gonna say the other bag, he didn't fully elaborate on, because people around that know will tell you, if you're new to the business. I remember watching the interview, the comedian that do all the impressions, and I think he was talking to DC Young Fly. He was like, tell me some stuff. And the first thing my man said was, stay away from them Diddy parties. unless that's what you into. You know what I'm saying? And Joe said when he starts to see the other bag come out, he leaves. Because that ain't his bag. Right? When Puff get to talking all that crazy stuff, all that stuff 50 been trolling him for over the years, calling people daddy and all that stuff. When Puff get to switching on you, we saw that interview with him sitting down with Nori and Jadakiss and them, and how weird that got. This is the time when he starts to switch into this. It's time to go. It's time to go. And this is a worry that the young ladies, the Cassies of the world, have to worry about as well. If this ain't your type of groove, it's time to go. Now, what I think people are kind of glossing over is that some people go to these parties and they see the they see things start to go whichever way Joe was talking about they go. They see the other bags start to come out. Right? The wild side of Diddy or whatever he owned. And they choose to stay. They choose to stay. And when you choose to stay, it's usually because you flat out have interest in what's going on, or it's because you like, I need to stay so I can still close this deal on such and such. And I'm trying to get signed by such and such. So maybe I'll just hang out and just deal with this for that purpose. But either way, you're making a choice to stay. But there are also some people who maybe did not choose to stay of their own mind. Maybe something was in their drink, slipped in their drink or something like that. Or, you know what I'm saying? Different stuff like that can happen too, where, you know, hey, drink this. Oh, I bought you a shot from the bar, drink this. And you drink it and then you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Now we talking about different ways that this type of stuff can happen. And you be one of them young rappers or young people that's at the party that ends up being confused about what went on at the party. But it turned out to be something you didn't like. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing to do, as they say, is to stay away from the parties. You know what I'm saying? Now that you know, and it's his biggest day now. People are, all this stuff is coming out, so people know. But so Diddy stepped down temporarily, and like Joe said, like, he should go sit down and this, that, and another. You lived a good life, and you just that. I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, Diddy is a person that he's a mover and a shaker. Like, he hustles. He likes to get money. So I don't think thinking that Diddy is about to go sit down in a corner somewhere and wither away is an actual possibility. And don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but the only way that I think people could expect Diddy to go sit and wither away is if, when things happen, people press charges criminally to make him do so. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I wish that they can't sue civilly as well, but making people go to jail is the only way that you're going to make them sit down by the definition of it. You know what I'm saying? And that means when things happen, you have to act then. You have to get the police involved, let them do an investigation, grape kits, in order to prove that these people have been up to foul behavior, so that you can literally prove the case and make them go to jail if that's what happened. But what we see in these cases is that women wait for whatever reason, and then they go civilly at the people and get money. And my heart goes out to Cassie. I believe she went through some stuff. I believe Diddy got a few screws loose. And in the words of Joe Budden, I believe she decided to stay at the party too long. You know what I'm saying? Trying to deal with some of the stuff that Diddy wanted from her in order to further her career. But I do believe that, as harsh as it may sound, she made a choice to stay. I mean, they were together for 10 years. And then she still didn't come out and say anything about any of this. So 5 years after they were separated. I think they were separated in 2018. I do believe it was times earlier on in the process where she could have put her foot down and said, no, you're not going to beat me like this. You're not going to treat me like this. You know what I'm saying? And criminally press charges against him to get out of the situation. MC Shan talked about this with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was offered that role first before Will Smith, and offered it by Benny Medina. And he noticed almost instantaneously that Benny Medina was on some funny booty stuff, allegedly, like he said. And he was trying to make that come along with getting this role. And MC Shan was not having it right off the rip. Foot down, lying and saying, I'm not doing that. If that's what comes along with this role, you got me messed up. Not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And from there, they went on and moved on to Will Smith. And you can allege whatever you want to allege from there. The point is, a stand can be made. MC Shan had a nice career. Nothing extra crazy though, right? But some people would say he ain't as talented as Will Smith. But it's still that alleged there of Will Smith took this deal with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and then like blew up after that. So you can allege whatever you want to allege from that, but we know these stories happen in Hollywood. I'm not saying it happened here, but they're very similar to the many other stories we heard that go like this. So I do think Cassie made some questionable choices, like as Diddy approached her to then decide to dump her boyfriend and then go along with Diddy, even though she felt uncomfortable with it. She made some questionable choices, and like Joe Budden said, stayed at the party too long, and she paid for it. And my heart goes out to her. I'm not trying to be mean or insensitive or nothing like that, but I do believe that it could have went differently if she had really, really wanted it to. And I do think that this could have went differently for Diddy if he hadn't been doing some of the things that he's been doing over the years, allegedly. Like, we don't know the ins and outs and what's all true and what's not true, but we do know, we get the gist that Diddy is a wild boy. Now, whether he's going to go and wither away, like Joe says he should do, go sit down, I don't know if that's the truth, because it just, nobody has chosen to criminally press charges and put him in jail. So he may step down temporarily and do things like that, but, it's like the Deshaun Watson case. All the women came and said that he did this, that, and other, and then all the women chose to settle and not put him in jail or whatever, right? So after he paid that and settled, it's like, what do you expect him not to play football for the rest of his life anymore? Like, no, he's obviously going to get back to playing football as he has done. And Diddy will do the same. He'll get back to moving and shaking and hustling again and making money again. It's just got to take a time out simply because no one has criminally tried to make him sit out. But it's your boy P. Kemp. Let me know what you think, what you don't think.